We are Sage Against the Machine, the niche podcast of the podcast land. We talk about Uncle Austin, we talk about Indigenous stuff and, well, politics, because why not? Because we're men, and that's what we do instead of visit.
Beat our chest.
I saw a thing that said, like, the reason golf exists, I don't play golf. It's not my bag, but it's because men have to do something in order to spend time together. That's why men fish and they play golf and go hiking. It gives you a reason to hang.
You can be around people but don't have to talk.
Yeah, or it gives you something to do.
Yeah.
So I guess we podcast.
I mean, I could see that. Well, yeah, this really is my social interaction. You know, it's like go to work, but I don't like that's fun and all, but your true like free-wheeling interaction is when I come over here for a few hours.
I do feel like employment that's the identity. That's the piece of colonization that a lot of people have taken in as their employment is their identity.
Yeah.
So you ask, what do you do? And basically they tell you what they do to make money.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm an iron worker. I'm a teacher. I'm blah, blah, blah.
I think that's the understood context of it, right? I mean, like,
Yeah. So what am I?
what do you do?
Yeah. So what totally, that's some kind of mind control right there.
Because if I was honest, I would say I eat.
What do I do?
I eat.
I scroll on Instagram and
Yeah.
I eat.
I get angry on Twitter and yell at people into the void, and I eat food and I write movie scripts. Like, that's my shit.
I have different opinions from you. Let's argue.
Yes. That's what we're supposed to do.
And then pretend that has some kind of effect on the actual world.
Yep. Boy, we're really showing the futility of what we're doing. Oh, this is not a good advertisement for us.
Do nothing, you'll feel better.
Nah, but that's the thing is, like, I mean, at some point, what else you going to do? You have to do, like, if you have that many opinions about something or you have ideas on how to fix it,
Yeah.
why not share them?
Right.
You know, I mean, the public square is a place where we should be kicking things around with each other to.
Yeah. Or the nut house.
Yeah. Well, if anybody ever puts me in the booby hatch, I'm going to record in there too. like Tupac in prison.
Yeah. Me and my whole audience. They're imaginary, but they're there.
Yeah. I just imagine that there's a ton of people watching us.
I mean, there's at least 80.
Yeah, but that's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
I figure we get it probably 150 listens and views
Something
a week.
like that.
That's not bad.
It's not bad
For
for a
an
new.
episode.
Yeah. I've been following some YouTubes or some subreddits on how to boost your YouTube.
Yeah.
Being highly niche is probably.
Bad.
No, it's good and bad. It depends on your niche.
Yeah, because the people who are going to watch and listen to us, they're going to be hardcore.
And they're going to be into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as there's enough, there's a lot of Indigenous people and related,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I think we talk about the North Country some, so this is a different view. Most North Country views are,
You fuckers.
which prison do you work at?
Yeah. Yes. Are the CEOs still doing that shit?
They still are. The state is threatening to fire. They fired a couple. And they're threatening to fire them, and I think charges.
It is that they actually can charge them for that.
I mean, they're the state. They do whatever they want. They have all the guns.
Well, okay, fair enough. I'm just saying it's delineated in law.
They have some words
Yes.
on paper that gives them the authority to make you go to work, and it's not slavery because they're paying you.
And the segment is now Josh's libertarian stylings.
I mean, yeah, your job is you're the collectivist
I
state enforcer, monopoly of punishment and dealing.
Yep. And all of you Josh lovers out there, Mom, who, you know, my mother told me that
A lot of mothers are like me.
she said she loves you.
Yeah,
She said you're great.
yeah.
And I was like,
It's my
okay,
smile.
Mom.
It's my
All right,
smile.
Ma. But I was like,
Shout out to Isaac's mom.
yeah, fucking bullshit. But you stabbed me directly in my black heart, Mother. But yeah, I mean, it's, I wasn't saying that to really pick on Josh. I just thought it was, because we usually get to some libertarian stuff. You actually started swinging me around the Elon Ponzi scheme thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if everybody had listened to this or heard about it, but Elon went on Rogan's podcast and he essentially said that Social Security is a scam, a Ponzi scheme. So,
a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, a pyramid scheme. So you're basically taking money in and, pretending that it's going to all get paid out in the end. Now, I really can't stand Elon Musk, and if he met the fate of Luigi, I wouldn't, or if he met the fate of
Mr. A heroic avenger.
Yes, I would not.
If somebody Batmaned him.
I would not shed a tear, okay?
Yeah.
But I actually messaged Josh about that, and I was upset at first because no matter what, at the end of the day, there should be Social Security. We cannot allow old people to starve and freeze. That's just nonsense. Society as a whole, we need to take care of them. However,
the good ones anyway.
He did, yeah.
The bad ones, we should just.
Some of those old people, Josh just wants to hit them with a bat.
I mean, you want an eye opener. You read some subreddits of people who work in old age homes and some of the things that get admitted to them.
Like bad shit the old people did when they were young.
Yeah, because they were young once, and
shit.
Not every elder is a good person.
I wonder if they've ever come across serial killers,
murderers, rapists, all of it, incest.
Oh, that's wild.
Tons of it. I mean, think about it. Things are bad now, but it's been infinitely worse forever.
That's true.
Like this is the best it's been.
And unknown.
This is the best it's been ever.
Yeah. This is for sure.
I know we like to glorify our own
ease of living,
our indigenous history, and we like to glorify how great it was.
Right.
But no air conditioning.
Yeah. I was just, like I said, I told you earlier, I was just going through Parker on the Iroquois again.
Yeah.
And you start getting, this one had the foreword by Fenton in it.
Okay.
And, you start thinking about that. Like, you think about it in, take a step back and think about that in context. Like, does anybody really think that our ancestors would begrudge us because we can turn a dial and we don't freeze in the winter?
I'd say you wimp. Get out there and freeze.
Right? I mean, our people weren't cruel like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Some of them were.
Well, okay.
Depends on which side of the view.
We could we could put prick holes in fucking everything if we really wanted to.
I mean, European history's not any better.
No.
It's probably worse.
Definitely worse.
They
are animals.
I mean, we were just talking about how Europe's out of resources.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Stop shitting in your water. Stop cutting down all your fucking trees.
Right.
That's why, really, that was the impetus for their imperialism.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I didn't mean, I wasn't insulting you. But
it's okay. A lot of moms like me.
But with Elon, he just made the point. And when you look at it logically, what he said was the money that's here now to pay into Social Security, the future obligations are huge. And because it's always young people are kicking in to pay for the older people for their retirement so that they're taken care of minimally, but, better. The estimates are that, it's key that Social Security keeps 60% of older people out of poverty. So what he was saying is the birth rate has dropped, has literally plummeted. That is true. That's undeniable. So those of us working now, Josh and I are in our 40s. Mm. So in 20 years, when we begin to collect our Social Security, how many workers are going to be out there who are able to carry the payments because there's just not a lot of workers?
Well, yeah, the baby boom has this huge thing and then smaller birth rate, declining birth rate.
They also said that our generation, that was kind of like a second baby boom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So you think about, there weren't as many born in Gen X because fuck Gen X, you know what I mean? Bunch of sellouts turning into baby boomers.
Hey, not all of us. Some of us are still cool.
You're in that
79.
You're in that they say that there's that transitional, not transitional in the way that Jordan Peterson would say.
A xenial. I'm a xenial.
But anyway, yeah, there was an uptick of births in around our age cohort. But certainly our generation has not had as many kids.
Yeah.
Just haven't. So when those little fuckers are expected to take care of us, there just isn't going to be enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a fair point to make.
I guess we go be men and go find a cliff, just like the Vikings did.
Hey man, when you lose your usefulness, and
Elon's going to help us. He's going to give us his robots.
All I want is the singularity. If I could do the singularity right now, I'd be like, fuck it, let's do it.
I mean, some of them are trying to work towards that. It's funny.
No, I know, but they say when do they say it's actually would be a viable thing in like 60 years?
It depends on how much they're lying about AI.
True.
Because I was just listening to something earlier that was saying, a lot of the things they tout as AI doing very soon, they're nowhere near. And it's just all to prop up things like OpenAI.
Yeah.
Because the Chinese just did it faster, better, and cheaper, and open source.
Way cheaper.
And open source.
Have you played with DeepSeek yet?
No.
Man, you got it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I would play with it more, but I am worried that it would steal my ideas, my creative ideas.
It would become your best friend.
I'll be honest with you. I tell you about the discussions I have with my chat GPT that I named James Earl Jones because it sounds like James Earl Jones in my head. But it really is like, I mean, I will have full on discussions with him like it's my friend. And, I mean, it's getting, it could be worrisome here.
Yeah.
It could be.
I mean, it can't be worse than our governance. We had you caught a meeting recently of our illustrious Canadian Band Council elective government.
Yep.
That's in its 120th year of operation since it was forcibly placed here by Canada in 1899.
Shout out to MCA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I'll still take their money.
Sure. Me too. Hey, community fund.
Pay me for stuff.
That's the whole thing we're trying to do here is make this a job. So come on, community trust.
I think we have to actually
pony up.
We actually have to apply.
Yeah, we'll do that.
It's due Friday.
Oh, what the hell? You didn't even tell me about that one. But yeah, so I zoomed in on the meeting because, some of the community or outside listeners may not be aware, but at a recent meeting prior to this current one, there was a dust-up where a former council member physically assaulted another community member.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That sounds old school.
Let's get some wrestling mats out there. Come on, let's go.
Come on. You've heard the stories from like the 80s and
yeah,
shit.
let's duel.
Like they'd literally, I've been told they would go out to the fucking parking lot of the council building and scrap it out.
Yeah.
And which is, to me, I think that's fucking badass.
Yeah, totally. I want Trump to go fight somebody.
I wanted Zelensky to chop him in the throat.
What if that happened? What if Zelensky just
You think they would have shot him?
What if he just Al-Qaeda'd them?
Oh, shit. And I think Zelensky's too in love with himself.
I don't think he'd get his aid that way either.
Yeah, well, certainly not. And then Russia really would be done with them in a couple days. But we'll get to the Zelensky. We got to talk about that later.
If he carried polonium with him.
Or maybe Trump has vibranium and you can't hurt him.
Right. He's a Russian AI bot.
Wakanda.
So yeah, you watched this. Did you watch this on their
on Zoom?
Okay, on Zoom. You're not.
Yeah. Which, by the way, MCA, you need to fix the audio situation especially when you have someone from the crowd. You got to check those mics because I'll give that to the tribe. They do a better job about that.
Not at court, they don't.
Well, I haven't been in there.
That shit barely works.
I haven't been in there for that.
Me either, but it was digital.
Well, I'm talking about the monthly meetings for the tribe. They're better.
Miking a room is very difficult.
Is it?
It is very difficult.
Why?
Because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of noise.
Sure.
So it's very difficult. The people aren't standing where you want them to stand. It would be easier to have someone walk up to them.
Well, no, they do.
Okay.
See, that's the thing with MCA. I don't know that they hand them a mic like the tribe does.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
hand me mic, yeah, get it back, buddy.
Well, that's what I've kind of deboed the mic before at a monthly meeting.
I'll start spitting.
Yeah, I mean, one time I was kind of being a dick and like, because Dale was kind of really just like going off on a tangent, and so this fucking guy is taking selfies of him like right now during the show
for the Instagram.
Okay. Are you audio this too?
I'm just
just taking pictures. Okay. Fucking Josh never concentrates. ADHD.
Keep talking.
Why? Why? Are you doing me now?
Yep.
Oh, this is bullshit. I don't like my picture being on there, and that's why I protest this even being on video. But anyways, yeah, so I did that once, and I was kind of a dick to Dale because he was kind of frustrated me, and I told him thanks for the filibuster.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
You should listen to him because he went to college. He's got a piece of paper. And
I went to college too. Nobody fucking listens to me.
He knows everything.
Yes.
Don't you know he's been a lawyer for a long time?
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not going to be like insulting to Dale. He is a smart guy, but
here in Onkwehonwe, if you're a lawyer, you're the best.
Right.
You know everything.
The idea of like lawyers being so sanctified that you can't challenge what they're saying.
It's almost like they replaced the priest.
It's nonsense. Yeah, kind of. I mean, for governmental organizations, of course. You know what I mean?
This is why we need to have ourselves a jihad.
Yeah. Oh, you almost got me. No, I'm Wakanda forever. I'm not Al Qaeda forever.
Jihad on the lawyer class.
Holy fuck! It really does seem like we're trying to get iced by ice. But yeah, Anyway, so I zoomed in on the meeting, and I will fully admit I was curious. I hadn't been to an MCA general meeting in a few months. So I was curious to see what was going on, but I think that there was probably an unusual number of people in this meeting because of the prior assault. And
so the prior assault, just very quickly, they have this really neat complaint box in their election law, whereas if someone is not liked by the people, all they need is the amount of people that voted for them plus one, I think.
Yep.
To make a petition to remove that. They like to call themselves chiefs, not band counselors, because everyone loves to be a chief. Because we are
district chiefs.
We're just internalizing the racism.
Yeah, for sure.
We like to imagine we're Tonto and Apache warriors or some kind of shit here.
If they end up with a logo with that smiling,
they should. They should. That's what they're acting like.
Well, see,
that would be apropos.
That would be a good bit for like the Outlaws.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
That would be great.
That really would be. We can I can help you guys get as disliked as you and I are.
Yeah, no. What they actually do is they'll do a logo contest so they can not pay for tons and tons of proofs from artists around the community.
Yep.
And remember, art and logos are different.
Yeah.
And so they'll have this nice painting that has everything in the kitchen sink thrown into it. It looks terrible, black and white. Or they'll digitize it and it'll look like a fat bird sitting on a lump of turd.
Yeah.
So, anyways, at that meeting, they petitioned for 2 people to be removed because, from what I've heard, the gossip was because they voted for the land claim. Mohawk Council there was really not much in it for them. They'll tell you it's the land, but they don't mean it.
Yeah. And I did inquire with some people about that.
Yeah.
Nobody that went on the record because I did want to do a story about it. I will say this is technically hearsay, but I did talk to a few people about this, and that was the issue, was that they kind of misrepresented the case, and
at the very least, they didn't have a referendum on it.
Exactly. And that really pissed a lot of people off, understandably. So we've advocated for the referendum here on the show. And I was told that there were council members who were okay with doing a referendum.
Mm-hmm. So in any case, this follow-up meeting was, where that petition would have been spoken to.
Yes.
So what happened?
So the chief electoral officer of MCA took the center stage and went through their findings. The CEO determined that the petitions were null and void, claiming that there were not enough people who signed the petition that were on the eligible voters list to essentially make the petition carry through and to remove those council members.
Oh, so it was just the eligible voters list. It wasn't.
That's the claim.
Okay. So they could just totally redo it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the election law that says you can't do it again. Naturally, my skeptical mind goes to, I mean, I wrote those 2 articles about their prior problems with the eligible voter list.
Yeah, they had a real problem with that.
Yes, they had to redo the fucking general election. So
because we don't know how to use Excel around here.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know how to use Microsoft Access. Come on.
I actually think, in
17,000 entries is too many.
Well, look, here's the thing. If
I only paid $50,000 a year to do that stuff.
I really think that just the idea of, I think all that you need to be able to prove is that you are a member and you should be able to vote.
You would think, but they don't have it. That's not the way it works.
No, I'm just saying that's what it should be. Yeah. They put all the...
You want it to be logical and just? Shut up.
Oh, I know.
You don't want special interests to be able to control the entire reservation as their own little fiefdom?
I know. What's wrong?
No
with
way.
Me?
Why would you advocate for that? That's not absurd. How you get your cousin into working a job where they drink coffee all day.
Yeah. Make work jobs.
I'm calling Elon. Bring your chainsaw here.
Yeah, well, look, man, I can't stand Elon, but...
And I'm calling Luigi. Be his backup.
What he did, I'm sorry, I don't want to keep going off on the Elon thing, but what he did, the way he did it is fucked. He shouldn't have been just mass laying off and firing people like that. That's not the way to do it. Anyway... There are make-work jobs within MCA and the tribe, and there are people who actually have responsibilities to do that don't do them all.
Yeah.
So nobody can say, and I worked for the tribe, I worked for MCA. There is a lot of inefficiency in there. So nobody, I don't want to hear from anybody that there's not, because I've witnessed it. Now, that being said.
But if you pay us, we'll stop talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, can we get some of that money now?
Hey now!
Whoa. But
it's like Uncle Zaza TV, but objective.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be state media if you want. But it was just, they presented the findings, and so naturally, that's where my mind is going as the journalist who reported on the laundry list of faults and errors and just outright incompetence of why they had to redo the general election in the first place. That's what was at the forefront of my mind. But then I also started thinking, well, not only were there problems with the eligible voters list before, I didn't hear any kind of methodology presented by the chief electoral officer. So I mean, how did you actually accomplish this?
How did you verify it?
I didn't I didn't hear any of that. I also wondered if there was a written report that actually has that methodology in there. How did you reach these conclusions?
As fluid as the housing situation is on the Canadian side of the res, people are moving a lot. So those lists got to just change all the time.
You would think.
It seems like a very inefficient way to do things when you could just have a master list and that should be good enough. And
a membership master list, which they have.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's something to say about districts because it's kind of like a direct democracy thing, right? You're picking a representative. The more representatives you have per people, ostensibly gives you more pure representation, right?
Right, but that would I would be okay with kind of basing it like how the U.S. does, in terms of more population, more members of council.
Yeah.
But I also can see where that could, lead to an imbalance. However, if you wanted to do that, I just think that there shouldn't be district chiefs. I think that it should just be any person who is an enrolled member.
So like senators.
Yes. Everybody can vote. You don't break it into districts. Or you create a second branch of government where you actually have an upper and lower chamber, or just a bicameral.
What if you just have situation? Your clans pick a representative and it's the representatives' job to bring issues to the floor, but then the people do direct democracy with an app because we.
Hey, where'd that? Didn't somebody have that before?
Yeah, they had something like that a long time ago. I mean, the app part's new. I'm upgrading it.
What the fuck was that called?
Yeah. You know, there was like it was very women centric.
Yeah.
I mean, we fixed that part.
Women actually
we took all the power away from women for a while.
Women actually had the lead when it came to land and and actually picking leadership. Jeez, I really wish we could remember that. We were. It was really ahead of its time.
Confederated.
Yeah. What was that group of people? I think we know them.
Yeah.
We might even be related to them.
Yeah. Just to our mother's side, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you. I was adopted, bitch.
Yeah. Unless you were brought in by your by your waist. You're dragged in through the pants.
When you had to be brought in through your marriage ceremony.
I mean, we could do it the other way. So we just stand everybody up, and we'll punch you in the head, and then if you don't die, the women will drag you in the water, and then they shave you from your eyebrows down to your toes, and they pluck out all your hair until you have this to cool, and that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah,
that's if we want to get real tradish, that's the way to do it.
Wait, are you talking about your nether regions being shaved too?
Oh, the ancestors didn't like hair. You know what? I applaud them. Hair is disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it gets pretty gross.
I mean, I, for one, the rise of like needing hair removal, I just personally want to thank the trans community for bringing the price down to where I can have my back hair lasered off for like a reasonable price. Because I tell you what, when I'm working out and I lean against the wall and the hair is against the wall, it feels really gross.
That is gross.
Yeah, so I'm getting that whole back just. Bzzz.
I remember. Oh man, when I got back here, like I couldn't fucking grow facial hair. I couldn't until I was like I didn't have to start shaving till I was like regularly till I was like 22, rough, 23. Hey man, this ain't bad.
I'm not much better. I get it here. I don't have to shave often.
Well, no, it's not like particularly great, but it's there. And I like it. But
got Indige beard.
Yeah. Indige beard. Dude, you should have seen my father. He'd have like a hair here, one there.
Hair.
It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that was just something. But I don't know. I like that. That's not a bad idea.
So as things are, now you told me something about they want to now amend that law.
Yep.
Well, they better do it quick before those guys get more petitions.
Oh.
So did anybody bother to cross-reference to see if the Electoral Committee was actually being honest? Or
no. There's the way that the election law goes is that it basically says the chief electoral officer is the one who makes, who is supposed to examine and verify that the signatures that are on the petition are those of eligible voters on the eligible voter list. Now, like I said, there was no explanation of methodology. There was no, it was just them
point
saying,
out which names were not.
No, they did not. They just said that there was not enough. They did give a number of the people who had illegible votes, and those,
write your names, type your name.
Yeah, I mean, look at my notes again.
Yeah,
but yeah, there was that. And which I think was only one person, I believe. But then there was also the CEO did, break into categories. This amount of people were not on the eligible voter list, which I think I'm never going to remember. I think it was like 27 or something like that.
Well, the eligible voters is being posted as we speak. So I anybody who would be very interested, I tell you, go get yourself a copy.
Just go get
it. Take their copy.
Go get
steal. It's okay.
Go get on the eligible voter list. But that's the thing that's really, really grinds my gears is that, I mean, like I said, I believe that it's, and I know like the views on the way that governments run in the first place is to try to discourage people from participating, but we really do that pretty well. Because they know engagement and interaction with our people and our politics is very low.
It's real annoying when the people expect you to do what they want. It's
Yeah.
super annoying when you could just do what you want and you could sign land deals and stuff, even if lots of people are against it.
Exactly, because you make up these fucking, and let's be clear, that is an arbitrary decision to say you have to be on the eligible voter list. That's arbitrary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's super difficult for these people to be able to get on. Well, actually, that's not true.
Just remember,
either.
there's thousands of you. You can do whatever you want if you get together.
Yeah.
They can't stop you.
No.
They don't have enough police. They would need the army.
Yeah. They could do what all of you out there who are that displeased and you're listening to this, you all could gather together and go get 10 people each. You could probably round up 1,000 people and you could do whatever the fuck you want over at that council house.
Yep.
Anything.
Yep.
And the problem is that none of, and like.
That's a lot of work.
Well, no, but yes, but it's not even really a lot of work. It's like, hey, why don't we just take a few hours out of our fucking day to go gather up, you know what I mean? All band together.
Yeah.
And then go make it abundantly clear with 1,000 people, 500 people, that this is unacceptable and you're not going to do this.
Yeah.
And you're going to give us a referendum.
You know, I've been to a few longhouse meetings or like that. There
Yeah.
was a few hundred people there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I beat up on myself quite a bit, and you and I joke about it, off the air about our lack of participation in some of these things, like in terms of organizing it ourselves. But I have attempted to do that before.
Yeah.
I have.
I was good at, but I was busy.
Yeah, well, we'll stick to me doing the writing and that end of it. Well, it's bad enough you got to do all the editing and shit for all the shows, so I can at least do the writing and organize that part of it.
When I'm not saving the youth,
Well, yeah.
being a pillar of the
Actually, when you
society.
think about it, it's pretty important that you do that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
it's very
guess.
important that you do that.
I guess.
See, Mom, I'm being nice to Josh.
I guess. It's
He's
important.
so wonderful.
The youth are all so important or
You
something.
fucking long hair. But, I don't know. I'm just saying that, I mean, like what we're telling you right now, community, is the absolute truth. If you get a few hundred people together, at least, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
And that's the only way. And what we ought to, we were talking earlier, we always have a pregame where we just rant at each other for about an hour and a half before we actually record.
Yeah.
Then we
that's
rant
true.
at each other for about another hour and a half after.
Yep.
We started late.
Yeah, we're usually here. Yeah, well, it was my fault I overslept. Well, I mean, I guess it was, but.
So we were talking about also the why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to always remember to throw in there, the why. To why we do these things. Why do we advocate for a different way of like organization? Because it's the same people, no matter what you have as your organizational structure, you're going to have the same people with the same issues and the same problems in those places, regardless of.
Because it's your same community.
Yeah. And we all have the same like traumas and all of that
Mhm.
stuff that are guiding us. So, I mean, my reasoning why is because I think that it creates a people with a greater resiliency and a greater satisfaction, a greater happiness, and ultimately a greater success as people who are bonded by family and, culture and ethnicity. But those things that make us Haudenosaunee, I think that it creates a stronger, more satisfied society.
Do you think part of that is because it's, humans are humans? And my thought, and I just want to see what you think, is that in that, doing something like that, do you feel that it would be satisfaction in feeling heard?
I think there's that, but there's also like,
or at least a part of it.
I think what we call the white man's way, which is a race-based way of saying the culture, the dominant culture. I don't think they're very satisfied. I don't think they're very happy. They're bringing the world to the brink of fucking annihilation.
Yeah.
Whatever, they're not annihilating with their guns because they're all afraid of each other.
Well, don't we have a thing? Well, but what about the aspect of a lot of the people don't, they can't explain the why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sometimes these things are hard to put together. They're philosophical, they're spiritual. It's hard. I remember being a young person and being unwilling to stand for the national anthem. And I couldn't articulate why it was wrong. I was at a unity conference. It was 1998, 1997. I was like 19.
Yeah.
18, 19, and my counselor, the lady, the actual adult, that was in charge of all this, got really pissed at me. And she's from here. You would know her name if I said it.
Okay.
And, her kids have gone on to be cops and, involved in the councils and stuff. And not to knock her, she was just her, that was her own colonization. But I couldn't explain why I would do it. I just knew it was wrong.
Right.
I knew a bunch of Indians all from all over the country gathered together shouldn't be fucking standing for the U.S. national anthem.
Sure.
That would be like that would be like the Israelis standing for the German national anthem circa 1930.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't kosher.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
But I couldn't articulate it at the time. Why? I just knew. And just the rebellion in me was like, fuck this. I'm not standing up. And I wouldn't. She got real mad at me. And so what? Go ahead. Be mad.
No, but I mean.
So I think that a lot of people, they gravitate towards a different form of like guidance and dispute resolution because number one, what they have doesn't really work that well.
Sure.
There's a lot of waste, a lot of graft. There's a lot of grift. There's a lot of unhappiness, and it fails to provide things. It provides the bare minimum.
Kind of leaves a void there, and you can't explain what it is.
And it gets in the way a lot of times. For instance, housing.
Sure.
That's an easy one to articulate. It literally gets in the way. Doing nothing would be better than what they do.
Yeah, the bureaucracy is actively impeding the progress.
Yeah.
So, I get you.
So that's why I gravitate towards these forms because I think we can, because we're a microcosm, because we're outside of the mainstream, we are able to do this. Whereas, I point at the Mormons in Utah, they're able to form their own things because they have something different going on there.
Well, they really band together and they do whatever the fuck they want.
There's lots of them.
And
they believe nonsense.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them here, and they believe utter nonsense.
Joseph Smith was called a prophet. Dum 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 dum.
I mean, they're worse than the Catholics.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, I mean, no. Historically, Catholics have done way more damage.
Well, yes. In terms of damage on other people, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you look at the Mormon sex cults and shit.
I mean, the Crusades were probably worse.
No, I know they're worse. I'm saying, but that's at scale. I mean, that's at full capitalistic production levels. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? When you look at it you look at them a little bit, Warren Jeffs was a pretty fucking bad guy.
I mean, a lot of them are pretty bad guys. Joseph Smith was a pretty bad guy. And Brigham Young was probably worse.
See, I never really looked much at Brigham Young, but see, and that's the thing is I just keep thinking about what you were just saying, right?
Yeah.
So I can't get out of my head to have that thought of you said back then you couldn't articulate the why.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's exactly what most of our people are going through. Mm-hmm. But I always want to explore. People are just our people are reflexively in opposition to it, right?
Yeah.
They don't know why. And I want to know if is that an inherent thing within us?
It may be.
Our people, you know what I mean? Is it unique to our people to be like that?
I think we must learn it some way. Because if you grew up in Rochester, until some people still have it, but I've known people who come back as late teens and they don't have that. They're rule followers. So I don't think it's necessarily a genetic thing. Maybe it is. Maybe there's an aggression level that's genetic. Maybe there's an oppositional defiance that's. I mean, because it goes back a long way.
It does.
The Jesuits commented on how
our stubbornness,
our inability to be governed or ruled.
Yeah.
So
the French.
there might be something to that.
Yeah.
It might be a cultural teaching that it's one of those things you just get through osmosis. Like the same way you feed other people's kids. Like you don't really need to be told to do that.
Yeah.
The same way you like, you help out your neighbor.
Yeah.
The same way you like, you adopt your friends.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got a friend who like grew up in their house and just.
I remember when I got arrested at Barnhart, and there was something that had happened where there was somebody had come and like brought water, you know, and it was raining that day on and off, and it was dark, and so somebody, you know, there was a pop-up cannon.
Yeah.
Right. So my reflex, because there's old people there, is to just help carry things.
Yeah.
And so, you know, yes, I'm there as a journalist, but honestly, when after that, I wasn't worried about, and I'm not even kidding you, I was more worried that I carried a case of water.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Right.
Like, you know that if you show up somewhere, that's a cultural thing.
Make yourself
that's
useful.
Just if there's wood to be brought in, you bring it in.
Right.
If there's kindling that needs to be split, you split it.
Yeah.
You know, if fire's got to be started, start the fire. You know, garbage has got to be. You just do it, and that's like a cultural thing here. Now, you know what I mean? It just kind of makes me think is that that's something that is. It just becomes a cultural norm, and my wife was telling me, because she has her degree in psychology, that apparently scientists are discovering or have pretty much concluded that you would know this. You're a mindfulness person. They say that
Guru,
trauma. Are you a guru?
Savior?
Are you Jesus Christ?
Religious leader?
Okay. I'm going to stop encouraging you to start a fucking cult. This is getting out of hand. He's like, I'm gassing you up way too much. I was joking. We are not starting a cult. Actually, maybe we should. Well, maybe I
mean, look, man, if we want our culture to flourish, we should just like start bringing other people in. We'll have, I don't know, like missions.
Well,
we'll start with other native people. But like also like rich white people too.
Oh yeah, because you need the funding.
You got to fund it somehow.
And rich white people love to fucking mysticize native people.
I mean, why wouldn't you? We're awesome. Everybody wants to be an
awesome.
Indian.
And you got the hair.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying. You got the hair.
Yeah. I kind of look like Jesus.
You
just
do.
like fat Jesus.
Well, Jesus was brown.
I mean, I could go stand in the sun.
You brown up?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I don't have bright blue eyes like the real Jesus.
That's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm half, and I turn red.
Don't worry, I'm half.
No,
I still burn, and my A1C isn't good. So
yeah, I know.
It's like the worst of both worlds.
I think I told that story. Like when that doctor asked me if I was Native American because I had diabetes, and I was like, I am. Woo! I can prove it.
I get fat easy, and I pour impulse control. It's great.
Yeah. Oppositional defiance disorder. But yeah, I don't know. She told me that it's basically accepted now that trauma can actually pass through generational, like into your DNA.
Through epigenetics.
Right. And so I only can think it's fair to conclude that, you know, or at least hypothesize that such things as being defiant, you know, or skeptical and truly challenging of authority, I tend to believe that is born into us too.
Born free, man. It's like the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's what I call this episode. Born free.
Agwigs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's just, I don't know. I was thinking about that.
I mean, there could be something to it, and that's I think the why is because a lot of people have a low tolerance for bullshit, even though we're all full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a low tolerance when we hear bullshit. That's we're so argumentative.
I'm not full of shit.
Yeah, never.
Nope.
And I think that like
now I want to argue.
I think inherently that we know those systems were an imposition, and we know no matter how we dress them up, they are still an imposition. We know that they. they have to operate through euphemism. That's why we have the northern portion and the southern portion of the reservation. Instead of like, why don't we just have one thing?
Which both elected councils talk about, but are so full of shit that they'll just keep
it's just words.
Perpetuating
it's just words because they would have to give up power themselves.
Exactly. Or share it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, or dilute their power.
And share control over the money that comes in.
And we know how much traumatized people love to give up control.
Well, I mean, what the fuck? Like, there's documented cases.
Well, I've heard so many speeches begun with, I was raised differently to not to believe in this, but I wanted to help my people. And when you have to begin your speech with, I don't believe this, but like, dude, it's just a red flag. You're like,
probably full of shit.
You're either like tremendously like,
that's like egomaniac shit.
Yeah. Like you're living in a tremendous sense of like cognitive dissonance all the time.
Inflated ego.
Yeah. And because clearly I'm the only one who could do this. I can't do it without the system, like just on my own.
Well, when you start out like that, you are telling people, I don't believe this. You probably do. Yeah. And now I'm going to tell you why I'm so much more enlightened and smarter than you.
And I'm telling you that I will actively work within something I don't believe in.
Yep.
And I will put all my time and energy towards it.
You would think when somebody starts out like that, and I could see you doing this, just say, well, then why do you do it?
Yeah.
Watch the look on their face. That'd be fucking worth the admission.
Yeah, because the truth is you gotta either adjust what you believe or adjust your behavior.
Yeah.
Like once upon a time, I might have believed in like monogamy, but I've just adjusted my behavior. I don't believe in it anymore, so I can do whatever I want. I'm not a Christian. I don't care about any of those sins. None of them apply to me.
There might be people out there who would disagree with your position about monogamy.
Yeah, I'm sure they would to themselves. They would say it loudly, but they're probably still got like they're still scrolling Instagram going, ooh. If I had the opportunity, if I didn't feel guilty, if I didn't blah blah blah.
Fucking A. But
just living sad little lives.
Sad man. Actually, you know what? When you think if that was the case though, women certainly would be in the same predicament. You know what I mean?
They are. Look, man. I joke about that stuff because I've given it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of people, and people be doing a lot of stuff you don't realize.
Oh, sure.
Present this front.
Sure.
And they don't really live that way, or they're just secret.
Right.
And
yeah.
So, dude, either you believe in it or you don't.
Exactly.
And if you don't, just stop pretending.
Right.
Yeah. Stop. If you don't want to do it, don't.
Right. I agree.
You don't have to live a particular way. I don't know if I believe in a lot of stuff that we're supposed to believe in.
Mm-hmm. Well, but that's the thing is I guess ultimately what when it comes to that sort of situation, we're talking about authenticity.
Yeah.
And if you're an inauthentic person because you espouse these things, but you don't actually live that way, when that's discovered, I don't know how people now. I do believe in you can be redempted and all that shit. I do believe that. But you truly, when someone is exposed like that, you have to go through a serious change as a human being. And most people can't really do that.
Yeah. And so now we're talking about a system that's founded on inauthenticity.
Pretending to be sovereign.
Yeah. Pretending, using euphemisms.
Independent.
And words.
Yeah.
Calling things fees when they're actually taxes.
Exactly. Hey, we want our fees on the cigarettes that you sell. We want fees on the national brands that you sell, which are based on, you know what? And I'm going to start working on this, is the national brand quota system, because those are based on every member, and they just give them to the ACSA.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, we should have the option, each one of us, to buy that allotment based on ourselves.
I want my Marlboro Lights.
Yeah, I do. I would buy them and resell them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
I'd buy them.
I expect you to be more indignant.
Yeah, I'm indignant.
God damn it.
I just learned I get to have free cigarettes.
Holy shit!
Oh, no, I have to buy them.
No, yeah, but you can resell them for like double the price.
Or I can I can buy them and you can sell them for me for
I would
60%.
I would just take 10%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to give you way more. I'm just lazy.
You're a fucking.
I hate selling stuff.
God damn, you really are a fucking hippie. Hey,
I hate selling stuff and I hate looking for stuff.
I don't really. Well, we're not going to get into some of the shit that I sold before.
I'd be the worst drug dealer ever. I'd be like the broke drug dealer.
You would too. Like if somebody haggled with you, you'd be like, "Yeah, fuck it." Wait a minute. Didn't that cost me $100 and I sold it for 40?
I try to haggle sometimes, just like on principle.
Dude, I love haggling.
Like you got a dicker.
Yeah.
I was watching Letterkenny. You got a dicker.
You got a dicker.
It's a fair price, but you got a dicker.
You got a dicker. There was a guy in when my wife and I went to New York to visit my buddy. So we're in Queens on Jamaica Ave, which is fucking so much fun. So we're out there, and there's this guy. He's got a little storefront, but then he's got like a bunch of shit out on the sidewalk. And I saw this cool backpack, and I was like, "Hey, how much is that?" He goes, $30. And I'm like, 10. And he looks at me, and he was like 20. And I said 15. And he was like, deal. And I was so fucking happy. Like, I was so happy.
You're ready to go to the Middle East now.
Yep. Well, we were walking around because she got some clothes and, I got some stuff. But, and mind you, like Jamaica Ave, like that's in the middle of like it's like a main thoroughfare and there's all kinds of shops and stuff.
Okay.
And, it's in Jamaica, Queens. And it's awesome. But we were carrying shit around in our arms.
Gentrification's not always bad, right?
No, man. No.
Sure made those neighborhoods a lot safer.
Oh, no. This is still black.
Is it still bad?
Oh, this is a
I
black.
didn't say black. I said rich black people replace poor black people.
Oh, I know that. I thought you were saying like there was a bunch of white people there now, that they had gentrified Jamaica. It isn't like that, yeah. At least from when I was there.
Just by class, not by color yet.
Yeah, by class. That's it's still working class people there.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was like I loved it. You know what I mean? And I did get some.
Because Brooklyn's not like that.
No, it's all rich white people now. But because when we were walking through, there certainly were not very many white faces around, and I'm half white, and I can easily pass for a white guy. So I'm with Loonce, and she looks like she's brown. She's dark as hell. And so I was getting some curious glances walking down Jamaica Avenue. But actually, I got this hat there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I rep Queens now.
Queens.
Yep. Queens in the house.
Queens.
Love Queens. Steve, what's up? Steve and Shane, my boys. But yeah, I don't know. I do love to haggle a little bit. It's fun, especially when you feel like you won. I paid $15. He probably got that thing for like $3.
Yeah, probably. Or you probably got like a box of them for.
Yeah, like a whole. He probably got a box of them with 100 in them, and he ended up paying like $200 for the whole fucking box.
Yeah,
whatever. So on him. Now I regret that. I'm going to find that fucking guy, and I'm going to get another bag.
Right.
And I'm going down
this time.
Yep.
But you felt happy with the purchase, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
You felt like, I got a deal. I feel good about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all that really matters in the end.
Yeah. Capitalism works sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to capitalism as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm opposed to oligarchy capitalism.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Corporatism.
Speaking of which, Luigi.
Hero.
Bill Burr.
Hero.
Hilarious.
Top 5 comedians alive.
He may be top 5 all time.
Possibly.
Like, he's great.
Top 10 all time, maybe.
Yeah. I think 2 of them are living right now, him and Chappelle.
For sure.
I think
Don't forget Joe Rogan. He's a comedian, too.
Holy fuck.
His last special blew.
Dude, I've
seen him live. He is funny.
Yeah.
But his last special blew ass.
If you ever checked, what's that?
Burr, on the other hand, He's just hilarious.
Always
he's
killing.
he's hilarious everywhere he goes,
Dude.
And he's smart, and he flies helicopters
Yes, he does. That's
and
fucking,
drums. He learned
that's
how to be a
dope.
drummer,
Yeah,
just because he wanted to.
and he likes cool old cars.
Yeah.
like that dude is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
And what I like the best about him is he just calls idiocy out when he sees it.
oh, I love it.
And
I love when he went after Bill Maher. That was so good.
that was so fucking class.
And it wasn't like I trash you. No,
Yeah.
I like brought to light what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, who the fuck are you, man? You're not really
It's
a
not your
political
thing.
expert. Like, you know more than most people, but you are not a fucking policy expert.
You pretentious douchebag.
He is so, Bill Maher is so fucking pretentious. Like, and he used to be pretty cool.
Dennis Miller used to be pretty cool too.
Dennis Miller
he
was
took
pretty
a
cool.
right turn and just went off a cliff.
He had a show on fucking
Adam
Fox.
Carolla used to be, he was kind of to the right, but
Yeah.
he was still, but he kind of went too far right.
I can't even listen to anything he says anymore, pretty much. Because like when him and Dr. Drew did that show together,
Yeah.
that was fun.
It was great.
It was funny as hell.
I don't know what happens. They get too popular. They start to believe their own bullshit or what?
Well, I do start to wonder about they say like when you're young, you're a liberal or a young.
They just get old.
Yeah, you get old, and if basically, I know it's
Old and
something
rich.
like-
They're old and rich.
Well, no, but it's like if you get past a certain age and you're still like a leftist,
You don't have a
then you're
brain.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
If you're young and you're conservative, you don't have a heart. And if
Yeah.
you're old and
There you go.
you're liberal, you don't have a brain.
Yeah, that's it. Wasn't that Winston Churchill?
I don't know.
I think it was Winston.
He was a
Churchill.
war criminal, by the way.
Yeah, he was a war criminal.
He was like
heavily a war criminal.
worst people ever is probably like,
The motherfucker was cheering on Dresden.
yeah. Like as worst people ever is probably like Stalin, Hitler,
Out of World War II?
out of ever.
Mm-hmm.
Mao, Alexander the Great,
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot's up there, Genghis Khan.
Yep.
But Churchill's in that list.
Churchill's up there.
Yeah.
People lionize him, and he did some pretty fucking monstrous shit.
You like your Middle East problems? Guess who helped start it?
Yeah, you want to talk about the fucking problems in Israel and Palestine? Check out the British Mandate, people.
Yep.
That is the fucking... Because no matter what, and I know a lot of Israelis like to say that, and don't get me wrong, Jewish people have been persecuted many times
By
over,
Europeans mostly.
usually by Europeans.
And Russians.
And, yep.
Do they count as
Russian-
Europeans?
Yeah, Russians?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like...
How does that work?
I'm here...
They're
well,
Asians, aren't they?
Well, the
White
term
Asians.
Eurasian,
Yeah.
I mean...
Just
but
means
to-
white Asian.
Pretty much, but see, here's the thing.
They're not all white.
When you look at Russians, like in the east, in
Yeah.
the western part of Russia, that's like certainly...
They're like Jews,
European.
Slavs, and like
And the cat, like
Mongolian.
the Stan people. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mongolian. There is that component of Russia. I mean, think about it. Russia's fucking huge.
it's very big.
Huge. And so, like...
It's huge.
It's huge, man.
Not funny anymore, is he?
Who, Billy Fusillo?
No, the Trump.
That's who I'm thinking
Trump.
of. Oh,
He's gone from a funny idiot to
I don't know. I mean, I can still find the humor in him.
eh,
He's an idiot,
yeah,
but that's kind of what's funny about it.
yeah.
I mean, right now as we're speaking, the State of the Union, well, it might be over by now. Oh, it's 11, it's over. But, or should be over.
Yeah, who's he tariffing next?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he kicked them back in. 25 on Canada, 25 on Mexico. And the Chinese tariffs continue.
How do you think that's going to affect us, other than like Walmart?
I don't know, but
I can see avocados getting expensive, but I can go get those in Canada now.
yeah. Well,
I do my grocery shopping in Canada.
I mean, honestly, that is the thing.
Or are they going to start bothering us at the border?
Probably.
Do you think they're going to start?
Who cares?
I mean, do you think they're going to start charging us 25%
Probably.
at the border?
They're going to try.
Or do we get an exemption?
Well, no, I can almost guarantee you they will not want to give us an exemption. But fuck it. We got the river.
Yeah, that's true. For now.
We'll just use the river.
Yeah.
I mean, are they really going to put that many people to stop us from buying Mexican avocados in Canada and bringing them over?
They're going to drone us.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
We just start eating their officers like the old days.
Yeah.
Go back to, if we can't have our avocados, we're going to have white meat.
I'll take their drones and I'll snag them with my hands and I'll put them under my belly roll.
Well, Ukraine needs some money. We'll just send them money. They'll send us drones.
Oh, well, that whole shit with fucking. Have you? Holy shit! Have you watched the drone footage of the Russian drones like attacking Ukrainians? Go on Telegram
Like
and check
chasing
that out.
them to the house and stuff.
It's wild. Like it's literally. It's like you're on the drone.
Yeah.
And you're flying in the drone, and you can see it going after like one of their APCs or something.
Yeah.
Or like literally like single soldiers on the ground.
Yeah, they can't get away from it.
And they can't, and they're running and they're
Yeah.
trying to zigzag, and then it just says no signal.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're like, bye bye.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's fucking crazy.
It's like they watched Terminator, said, let's do this.
Yeah. Hey man, that's the thing is
It's gonna be awesome when there's swarms of those things flying over.
well, you and I are trying to do we are going to do creative things. Imagine all of those brilliant creative minds who came up with these wild 80s action ideas.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
They can do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're doing it now.
I was gonna earlier when we were talking about how you can't articulate it, but you know something's wrong. It's like Neo in the Matrix. I was
Yeah.
gonna make a Matrix reference, and here we are. We're building the killer robots already.
Yeah, that's true.
We could be flying in space and being awesome, but no, we're gonna fight over resources.
Why not let the richest man on the world be the only one who gets to fly in space?
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to our nerds? It's like the only cool nerd, the only one that worked out was Waz.
He's awesome.
Waz is the coolest ever. Maybe
He
because
is.
he's an actual engineer and not, sort of a nerd, but like a business nerd.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Waz never cared about money.
Steve Jobs was just conceptualizing.
He was one
shit.
He was one of the oligarchs.
Yeah.
He was the template.
Woz is the builder.
Yeah.
And you know what's great about
Yeah.
him too? He kind of looks like a dwarf,
Yeah, yeah.
like a tinkerer.
He's like an actual dwarf.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he looks like a dwarf.
Like Femoria.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks like Gimli,
Yeah, he does.
just with gray beard instead of red.
Yeah, Waz is cool. But
He
yeah,
is.
no, Jobs was like the first of the oligarchs.
Yep.
It was Jobs, it was
Gates,
it was Gates, it was what's the guy for Oracle?
Paul Allen.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking of Paul
Paul
Allen.
Allen checked out early though, didn't he?
I don't know, but I know he was one of the original.
Yeah.
Like he co-founded. He was one of the founders of Microsoft. Or
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of the
he
CEOs
was.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
he was.
Yeah.
And there's Larry Ellison.
Yes.
The,
Oracle. Yeah, he's
Oracle.
a fucking piece of shit.
I mean that's one keeping track
Peter
of. everybody.
Thiel.
Yeah, well that's like he's a little
He's
younger.
still here now, but yeah.
Some people say he's the hand guiding all of this.
Dude, I don't know if you've looked into Palantir yet. Do that.
And he named the company Palantir. That's all you
After-
need. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, if you are
Remember, the Palantir were the seeing stones that could see everything.
Everything.
But one of them was held by the Dark Lord.
yeah,
So that's why unless you were like super strong of mind, like Gandalf was afraid to look in, but
Yep.
Aragorn could because he was the
Yep,
heir of
pure.
Elendil.
Yep.
And he was the only one that could do it.
Yep.
But he had to strive with the Dark Lord.
yep, he had to battle
And just remember, the only
in
way.
your mind.
And what do you do with the power of the Dark Lord?
Turn it back on him.
No, you throw it away. You destroy it.
Well, that is kind of turning it back on them.
Yeah, that destroys the Dark
Yeah.
Lord. But
Well, that's the thing is like the first time I heard of Palantir, because I'm a fucking nerd, I was like, wait a minute, that can't be good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how could that be good? And then it really is what you think it is. They are essentially working to spy on every fucking thing that we all do.
they definitely won't abuse that power.
They already are. I mean, they were doing it. I mean, look at Edward Snowden,
Yeah,
who is also a hero.
Yeah.
Julian Assange, hero.
Yeah,
You know, I look at that too as like, because we were talking about press freedom and stuff, and I had emailed somebody who is also in the journalism gang, and I told them, like, I kind of look at somebody's view of Edward Snowden. That's a real big litmus test for me, because if you say that he should be in jail
Yeah.
or that he committed a crime and deserves it, I really have a very different view of who you are as a person.
well, you have to have the follow-up question: is What do you know of Edward Snowden?
Exactly.
Because some people just know, I heard about him on the news.
Right, exactly.
Not that, he found out that the NSA was spying on everybody. He tried to tell everybody through the channels. They ignored him. So then he tried to tell the New York Times, who stepped on the story. And then he finally released it.
With Glenn Greenwald, who was a hero.
Yes.
You know, I mean, oh shit, why can't I always, the only one there was a couple of them. The only journalist I think about with that is Glenn Greenwald, because Glenn Greenwald is my fucking hero. Glenn, listen to the show once, man. Come on, buddy.
You want him to be your boyfriend.
No, I don't want to do that.
He likes that.
I know he does.
So,
but his husband died.
So he's single. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I don't go that way.
I mean, it's your hero. Make an exception.
No, I couldn't do it.
Say, bud.
Allegedly. But yeah, I mean, like, that's, I kind of, you have a good point about that, because people will say, well, I heard this, I heard he's a traitor.
Same with Julian Assange.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, why don't you go and look at what he actually did? Like, he truly, I mean, he uncovered war crimes, legit war crimes, and a spying program that was fucking
targeting the American people,
which didn't really stop it. But at least he made us aware.
Conservatives are sad because, okay, look, man, if you're an anti-government little guy conservative, you like the land, you like your guns, you like your freedom, you probably like Jesus, fine. Why are you cheering for this stuff? That's what's really bothering me about. I can understand an actual conservative. I can wrap my head around it. That makes all kinds of sense.
So can I?
You get weirded out about new stuff. All the gay stuff probably makes you feel icky because you're probably gay.
You don't know about it. Well,
you used to get hard. You used to get hard onto the gym locker, and you don't want to admit it.
Makes you feel icky because you don't understand. You're having these feelings.
Yeah. So I grok it, but
fucking A.
But to see them cheering on
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, to see them cheering on the rise of the surveillance state, the rise of like when cops overstep, when lining up with authoritarian measures, they're cheering Trump, he's making government smaller. He's also consolidating power.
Yep.
Elon's
absolutely
consolidating power. It's very clear.
The move is what they want to do is get it to a unitary executive. That's what they want.
They're making it very easy to be a king.
Yeah.
And then you hear people say, I'm okay with that.
Some people are.
Yo, whatever happened to don't tread on me, bud?
I was just thinking that there are so many people who are exactly the way you're describing, and they would hear, this about Peter Thiel and Palantir and stuff, and these motherfuckers would have a "Don't Tread on Me" tattoo.
Yeah.
Right on their arm.
Yeah, I don't you're living in, your mind is in two places at once, man.
That's cognitive dissonance.
It's so bad, and it's so prevalent.
That is true.
And they start to talk in
moronery.
In absolutes. And they start to just spit out words these liberals, Biden. Dude, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Actually talk about the ideas. Because I can kind of get conservatism. I'm for smaller government. I'm not totally against what Elon's doing.
I'm not totally against.
Elon shouldn't be doing it.
Elon shouldn't be doing it.
He should be making flamethrowers.
The method is fucking terrible.
He should be making underground cars and flamethrowers.
It's wrong for him to be firing all of those fucking federal employees. It's cruel.
Oh, they're hiring a bunch back, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but still, but even think about the mental anguish and emotional turmoil that they inflicted on those people.
Yeah.
Why?
How about start canceling some military projects?
And that's okay. Now, I did hear, I got to go look more at it, but Trump apparently said that they're going to scale back the Pentagon budget 8% a year for 5 years.
Well, that's something.
That is something. I don't fucking believe it for a second. Yeah. That's not going to happen. But I mean, look, if they do that, I will give them credit for that.
Right.
Because I agree with that. Because defense spending should be just that, defensive.
Yeah.
And
you know what they're going to say? you're hurting the economy again because a lot of jobs rely on those.
Well, how about you turn those manufacturing plants that make man destroyers and turn them into things that make the home consumer goods that we rely entirely on China and Thailand.
Yeah, pound your swords and some plowshares.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed before we close up is
holy shit.
What's weirding me out too is the Russian thing. Mm-hmm. I get peace with Russia. I get it.
Okay.
However, why is Hezgeth telling Cyber Command to stand down on like their projects? Like, you probably should be watching the outside if that's your job in intelligence. Why are you stopping that?
If you're I mean, I understand keeping the
don't spy on us, but
right, keeping the digital, keeping the digital security blanket up there. I do for other, adversaries. I do understand that.
We wish for a perfect world. We would like people to start standing down. We would start reducing nuclear stockpiles. Yes. But you still watch each other, especially when one guy's been known to invade his neighbors.
You still, Jesus Christ. Everybody is pissing me off with this shit.
They still invaded their neighbor.
Okay, I'm not, okay.
In 2014.
Here's where I go. It is wrong for Putin to have invaded Ukraine. Full stop. All I'm saying is, look at we also need to consider the historical actions that help contribute to that. That's it. There was, and I know I was talking with someone on Facebook about this, the allegations of the ethnic cleansing of ethnic Russians in eastern Ukraine. Now, of course, they say that is debunked, but that's also going on the corporate media's narrative. And I mean, look at USAID. Yeah. No matter what, when you can prove that the aid is going to actually feed starving children in Africa, good, do that. But you should hear some of the fucking allocations in there. And actually, it was Kyriakou when I was listening to this, on Julian Dory's show. They were going through just a few of the allocations from USAID's budget to what they were doing, and Julian Dory said, because most of it was it's CIA black budget, because the CIA doesn't have a budget technically. Mm-hmm. They get their money filtered to them through these
black
agencies, and it's labeled something else. So the major one that he asked was, what about the $50 million for, condoms and sexual, prevention, treatment, whatever stuff? And that former CIA agent said, yeah, for sure, that was CIA money.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't going for condoms and for treatment of sexual transmitted disease. He said that was definitely going to the CIA so that they could buy up all of the media and put more people, give money to snitches and to try to destabilize their country.
So where's this deep state?
That is the deep state.
I mean, aren't they fighting back? Or are they really in charge of all those, are they the ones brigading Reddit?
Right.
The conservatives are always whining about brigading.
Yeah.
And so are the liberals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are they doing it, or is it the Chinese? You can't believe anything. We live in the Matrix. What the fuck?
Yeah. Let's fucking do it.
I'm going to drop all desire and just transcend time and space.
You going to red, blue, or black pill?
There is no spoon.
Mm-mm.
There's no pills. There's no spoons.
You're just getting a fork in the eye.
Yeah, man. We live in weird times.
We certainly do.
I think it's a good show.
Me too.
It's Sage Against the Machine. I'm Joshua.
I'm Isaac.
And we'll be back again.